Hello, I know it's very hard to tell, but I actually just showered. So yeah, before I jump into this video, let me show you my mini haul. So I got a lighter, and why did I get a lighter? Because I have a candle from yesterday and I got some chewing gum. So I want to ask you guys a question. How do you know if you're compatible with someone? Obviously, one way is just seeing like if you guys vibe with each other, right? One method that's commonly used is if you feel like you've known someone for a very long time, even if you just met, then that's a good sign you're compatible. And I agree with that. But for the longest time, even unconsciously, I've been using a system that I basically just like solidified while I was showering. So this system is basically categorizing everyone into colors, including yourself. So if I had to talk about myself, for example, I think I range from like a magenta color to a salmon color. So I think everyone falls into a general range that everyone can be categorized in. And another note I want to say is that within that range, you can't assume like the human limitations of color. For example, I saw a study where it said that like human eyes can't actually see the color between red and green, like the blends, and instead they see brown, right? But the blend is not necessarily actually brown. So you have to assume, for example, if someone is a range of like red and green, that is possible, and that within that range, it's not necessarily like yellow or brown. And yeah, basically how this would work is you kind of just get to know your own color, and then as you get to know someone else you might be like interested in, maybe you want to be friends with them, maybe you're romantically interested in them, but either way you want to get to know them more and find out their color. And sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's a bit harder to tell. And though obviously I say complementary colors are better, this isn't always the case, right? Some couples are not as inherently compatible, but because of, their efforts and, their liking for each other, they're very easily able to overcome like this fundamental compatibility, if that makes sense. I don't know Barack and Michelle Obama personally, obviously, and I don't know them too well, but I have an inkling of a feeling that they're pretty similar in color. But yeah, if you don't know if your colors are compatible, just look on the color wheel. If they're opposite, they're probably complementary colors. Or you can just search up an image of the two colors and see if it looks like not clashing, if that makes sense. So yeah. Please don't hate on me, okay? This is just my own system. Like it's worked for me my whole life in terms of making friends, and whenever I liked someone, it might not work for you, but this is just me trying to explain my system. But yeah, another note is I want to say I've noticed that like goldenish yellow, like around that range, work well with a lot of colors. If you search up like golden with basically any color, it looks really good. Golden and like emerald green, golden with magenta, golden with red, golden with blue, golden with a lot of color work well. So yeah, that's just a random note I wanted to say. But yeah, I can also give some examples of like colors because I don't really know how to describe them yet. I didn't quite piece that yet. But yeah, for example, I think Bad Bunny is a great example of kind of like a also somewhat of like a pink color to like a wine red kind of color. I'd say like magenta red to wine red. That's kind of really close range though. I don't really know quite where the broad range is, but I feel like that tiny range is somewhere within it. Like just based on how he presents himself, at least I don't know him. Once again, I don't know what he's actually like or whatever, but yeah, he seems like a very emotionally intelligent person, and I don't know, he just kind of gives off that vibe. Yeah. And also Jane from Breaking Bad, I think she's also like a pink to dark purple. Oh my god, I have a even better example. Okay, so recently I watched the movie Challengers, okay? And I think what's that guy's name again? Patrick. I love Patrick. He's definitely somewhere like red is definitely within his range because like he's very sporadic, right? He's very like full passion, crash and burn, right? Like obviously his character, like it's a pretty like extreme depiction, I think, but yeah, he's definitely like reddish, okay? Fire nice baby, right? And then what's the other guy's Art? I think he's definitely like an icy blue as well. I think they designed their characters very well to like fit in their names. But yeah, icy blue's definitely in his range as well. And then Tashi, I think she definitely also like is more towards the warmer side. So reddish, like orangish, like also like pinkish. Yeah, like magenta-ish, reddish, orangish, definitely red in there somewhere though, which I think also explains why her and Patrick, like their personality, they would clash a lot, you know, like when they bickered in the car and all that. Like it makes a lot of sense to me. But yeah, I don't know, like I just started like classifying people like that, like by color, by myself. Like obviously, at the end of the day, I'm not super strict on it. Like it's just a fun little fact that I kind of just subconsciously do in my mind. I don't like religiously follow that, you know, like I feel like that's kind of dumb. At the end of the day, I feel like compatibility, right? It's just like if you feel very close with someone, if you feel very safe around them, you feel like conversation is very easy flowing and you kind of just understand each other better, that's compatibility, right? You don't need a system whatsoever. And at the end of the day, like even the one where it's like you feel like you've known that person for a very long time, and even if you necessarily didn't, I think that honestly works by itself too. But like this is just like if you're feeling stumped and you really don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I also think the guy with green hair from One Piece, Zoro, I think he also has like orange in his color. And then um Kristoff from Frozen, I think he is like a yellow greenish. I think Rihanna's definitely more on the warmer side and ASAP Rocky's more on the colder side, but I think they're very close. Like on on the spectrum or whatever, I think they're very close, if that makes sense. Like very close in terms of color range, just like um him being on the colder side, her being on the warmer side, if that makes sense. I think he definitely has like green in his range. Obviously I don't know them though, you know what I mean? Like this might be completely false. Like obviously I don't know any of these people personally. I'm just trying to use like cases and examples that I think may be possible to help like help communicate like how I perceive people as colors, because I can't really explain them like individually. I can explain red though. Like red tends to be very sporadic, bursts of passion, sometimes a bit short-tempered but very passionate, I think, and sometimes brash. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys do this too, or if this somehow helps you, please let me know by all means. But yeah, like I said, like please don't take this too seriously. This is just a system that I kind of do subconsciously, just kind of like a little fun note. If I'm feeling stumped once again, I don't know if this actually works or not, but it has worked for me in the past. But yeah, thanks. Peace and love.